What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, live here at Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, as we get you ready for Bucs versus the Giants. how do we start off this show? As you know them, you love them, you got to have them, so scream them out. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your Rolex reporter, Mr. Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. What's going on? Happy Sunday, and hopefully there is a breeze in the air of a win streak. Maybe that's foreshadowing of things to come here because it's getting cooler. And maybe, just maybe, this Bucs team can go on a win streak here in the second half of the season. Welcome to the Evolution, my friend. How you doing?
Brother, I'm good this morning, but I also hear that it's a little bit cold there at MetLife Stadium over there in Jersey. So a little bit of sleet, a little bit of rain. They had some snow up there in Buffalo. With Buffalo, when does it not snow when it's this cold? But so the Buccaneers have the elements to fight, and they're probably going to find a team in those Giants as they get rid of Daniel Jones this week. They're trying to probably start a new identity. I'm not sure Tommy Cutlets is the guy, but we're going to find out today.
Yeah, you're definitely going to find out today, and I think that's the big-time concern coming into it, guys, is can the Bucs play against a backup quarterback, which they have struggled to a certain degree. This defense overall has struggled with being 27th, 30th, and secondary, so they definitely got to show up today. I tell you right now, you got to feel good about this, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, as we were talking coming in, the return of possibly, if not the greatest wide receiver in Tampa Bay Buccaneer history, Mike Evans, to that offensive side of the ball there, which should help them out. And even with that being said, with Evans and Godwin, of course, being out for the year, they have been able to still score points. It hasn't been the offense. It hasn't been Baker Mayfield because, again, he's had some turnovers, but 24 touchdowns coming in right now, leading the National Football League. You get Mike Evans back, you have to feel good about that situation.
Yeah, and getting Mike back, the offense, they tooled along a bit for a few weeks without him, but getting him back there now, and of course we want to see him try to get maybe average 97 yards a game or more, have a big game today in his first game back, still take care of that hammy, but start getting on our way to that 11th 1,000-yard season because we're still trying to get there.
Yeah, you kind of wonder what the Bucs are going to do when it comes to a pitch count, if he's going to be on a pitch count, because of course the hamstring issue can be a lingering thing, but I trust this Bucs organization and that they know what's best for Evans, that he's not – look, no football player is 100% when it comes down to it, but he's definitely a lot better at this point or they wouldn't play him. And then I think the other one, the return, is Jamel Dean, which, this Bucs secondary has absolutely lacked. You have Josh Hayes, you have Funderburk, so they have struggled. So we'll definitely get into this Bucs-Giants preview matchup. We want to hear from you, as always, on location, live in downtown St. Pete.
Can I say it?
Yes.
At the world-famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill, and maybe there's one person out there that doesn't already know, but probably not, which is down here on Central Avenue, just below 16th Street in the Edge District of St. Petersburg.
I love that. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We'll be here all day long. People walking by, people asking what this is exactly. If this is the first time you've tuned in, this is the evolution of sports talk television, a cross between a TV and radio show without the stations, with all the radio elements, with the sound effects. I love the sound effects. I love the sound effects. There you go. Fire the cannons on that. Where's yours? Let's see here. Where's your sound effect? Oh, here it is.
Mr.
I don't know why I love that. Here's your sound effect. That's your sound effect for the day.
What's the one we used for a soundtrack when we got our audio hooked up today? That sound.
Oh, that one right here. Here's the one. There you go. That's the one. I said, there's an important message. I need you to hear this. And you were all serious looking at me. And then I just dropped it right there. Right there. And hopefully.
That was good for you.
Oh, thank you. It was absolutely always, whenever I get a chance to, fire this off. And then also, hopefully, Todd Bowles is excited about this defense today. And I think that's probably been the most surprising aspect, because you still have talent on this team. As we talked about it, Kalijah Cansey coming back. I think, look, this team in general, if there is one that needed a bye week so badly, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with all the injuries that have happened the first half of the year. And that was my question on social media. What do you take out of this first half of the year? I take injuries, and it's hurt them, whether it's Vita Vea, whether it's Kalijah Kancey, whether it's Yaya Diaby, whether it's the secondary as Dean is coming back today. Thank God, because I never thought I would be such a Jamel Dean fan. And look, he's got the potential. He's played inconsistent in his career, but damn, he's a lot better than Josh Hayes and Funderburg. We would have to agree with that.
Yeah, and you know, when his schedule first came out, like whenever years ago, but it seems like at this point, and we saw that week 11 bye, it was like, yeah, that's going to be good, regardless of the position we in. We didn't know we were going to be in a 4-game losing streak, looking to get off the schneid now for that 5th week. You got Mike Edwards, you bring him in. He's not going to come in here and he's not going to go to Pro Bowl, but you got secondary depth, and maybe you get that back secondary a little bit more secure in themselves and get a little bit better against the pass so they can complement themselves out and keep teams from getting on board at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Questions of the day, score prediction, player of the game. Are you excited about having Mike Evans back? Are you excited about having Jamel Dean back? And as one Bucs fan, are you excited about having Mike Edwards back? Open phone line again, 727-255-0391. You look at this Giants team, they're scuffling right now. Losers of 5 in a row, changes at quarterback with Daniel Jones being released. Not gone, not benched, released with that big-time contract. Just, 2 years removed from that big-time contract, he's gone. He's no longer on that Giants team at all. Are you surprised by that? Are you surprised by them going with, Tommy Cutlets, who, listen, he had some success last year, and, of course, is Tommy DeVito, not Danny DeVito, as our co-host, Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, said on Wednesday night with Seneca Wallace, which, by the way, Great segment. Yes.
Great show.
Yes. And he'll be coming on every Wednesday night with us, former NFL quarterback. But are you surprised they made that move? He had success last year, but also Drew Lock was the backup, and now you're going with DeVito. So is that the matchup you're looking at the Bucs taking advantage of? Or as some Bucs fans, they kind of fear this matchup because it's the unknown with the backup quarterback?
Well, and first of all, the move with Daniel Jones, they weren't going to let him even get out of his car in a parking lot for fear he might, twist his thumb locking it and him to be on hook for the millions of dollars of injury next year guaranteed. So they let him go, and they have to, because ever since they let Saquon go and Daniel Jones was the guy you went with the big contract, some people say Saquon was never going to sign in New York. I say you could have made some love to that cat and kept him home. Philadelphia obviously being a place where he would, the only place he'd want to go probably to Mara's discretion, right, or Mara's dissuade.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, Cutlet's coming in here, or Tommy DeVito, the thing is that he's going to get this team a little bit more motivated. They're going to play Burns. The defense is going to get a little bit more, jiggy with it, if you will. But at the end of the day, he's not your long-term.
Don't you start with that. Don't you start with that, getting jiggy with it and all that other 80s and 90s. Was it mid-90s there, late 90s, Will Smith?
Chasing waterfall. I'm kidding.
Here comes the money.
Wait, that's not the one. Here it is. See, when you're out with remote, you hear your sound effects, and they're just a little bit scattered a little bit, but, I'm still playing with it here. But
no one else, except for the people that are watching us live on their tablet over there, which is awesome. But no one else knows this. All they hear is me and you yelling, and then we pause for like 30 seconds for no reason. And
right.
Then we come back to it. We'll just tell them we're interviewing.
Well, we need to get our speakers out here. You know me, I got the sound system. I can make it loud. I got the whole package. I come with the whole package here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. And yes, it's a good package, by the way. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Listen, you want to set me up, and I'm going to knock them down.
I'll throw a softball to you, but talking about package, what a nice package with that post-game press conference we had over there at Raymond James last night with the Bulls. Who, 63-30 victory over Tulsa, became bowl eligible.
Oh, look at that. And you know what? Here's that. Where's that music at? Well, hold on a sec. Oh. I got this. I know what I'm doing here.
There it is.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, you hear it? Here it is. Yes, bowl eligible. Absolutely. Yes.
They heard of thunder yesterday with the
63-30.
Yes, and then 30 was scored against your.
And Tulsa's coach got fired today, by the way.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's fired.
Screw you! You're fired!
So there you go.
Yeah, and weren't surprised by the outcome of the game, but the way this Bulls team has stayed focused, and I love the answer with some of the press conference with the answers last night. But Coach told you in talking about this year, and asked him a question about this team, the makeup of it, the identity of it, and I just love the fact that it's always consistently consistent, and the players are they're talking the same game because that's exactly what this team's all about. They're all on the same page.
Yes, and absolutely, and again, it's nice to see them. Again, were there other expectations for this team going back to the USF Bulls? Absolutely. Did they have distractions? Did they have the trials and tribulations, as I talked to Coach Gollers about? Absolutely, but they were able to overcome them. And once again, in your second year, you're a bowl eligible. So once again, congratulations to the USF Bulls. Victory! Hopefully, we're playing that today for this Bucs-Giants game as we get you ready. 1 o'clock kickoff here. Beautiful weather. Live from Ferg Sports Bar and Grill in downtown St. Pete. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Best of the Bays, Mr. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. Tristan Wirfs downgraded in this game, so he's not going to play. He's going to be out.
MetLife Field. I wouldn't even want Tristan if he was healthy going out there. Take a day. Take a veteran day. I'm not saying with school in there or whatever the options are in the offensive line.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, coming back from that, it was only a strain. We were so fortunate to see that with Tristan. But, why even bother with it on the road, right? You're on the natural grass at Carolina next week. I mean, that might be a place to bring a kid back in, but you and I talked about this yesterday too.
It's a great point, and you're absolutely right. In the press box there at Raymond James Stadium, and you made it abundantly clear about Wirfs and taking that chance, and you don't want to take that chance because the Bucs and Wirfs were able to dodge that bullet because it could have been a more serious injury. In fact, Wirfs talked about that this week, watching the replay of it. You thought it was worse than it, of course, ended up, and now it's a MCL, so we'll see if he'll play next week versus Carolina, or maybe you save him for a couple weeks when you come home to Raymond James Stadium against the Las Vegas Raiders. So
Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird to say that. Let's go back out to the web heads here, because not only can you call the phone lines and talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, give me a score prediction of the day, give me a player of the game, but also we'll read your text messages. Good morning, fellas. Good morning to you, Tim. What's going on?
Oh, yeah!
Let's go out to Christopher Cole. Happy game day, peeps. Let's go, Bucs.
Let's go!
Let's go, Bucs.
How about them Bucks, baby?
Let's go, Bucs. I love my sound effects. Thank you very much, Christopher Cole, for tuning in. Evan, 7 receptions, 115 yards. You think that's possible
100%.
with that prediction?
100%.
And the people walking by, yes, you are live. Hello. Welcome to downtown St. Pete.
Dog.
Welcome to the evolution of sports talk television. You got dogs over there, right there. I'm bro. Yeah, Doberman is pretty calm there. What is that? A golden retriever?
Yeah.
Trying to bring Alexander down here. He'd be barking his ass off.
He'd be running around
over
in the dog park here at the world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill, which a lot of Bucs fans are also over there. Like what I said to the Detroit Lions fan earlier. Can I go ahead and share the story here?
Sure, go for it.
Peter and I set up like we always do, and people come by and generally inquire, put the lights up first and shine them bright. So they're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, what's going on? What are you guys doing?
He had the Lions jersey.
What kind of a massive humanity are you doing? The tools of ignorance. What are you setting up here?
Wait, me?
Well, probably me.
Oh, Rutrow.
No,
so he says, as a Detroit Lions fan, he says, what are you guys doing here? And I said, the Bucs, we're setting up a Bucs game day show. He said, it's great. We have so many Bucs fans already out here. And I said, well, the Bucs have been losing the last couple of weeks. So basically all we've been doing is talking about how bad we beat Detroit up there at their place at Motown. And I
don't want to hear it because listen, Detroit could be clearly the best team, not only in the NFC, but in the National Football League.
Yeah.
Oh, but by the way, Lions fans, here's a reality check. Okay. You ready? Here it comes. Who beat you?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
There you go.
Daddy's home. The Bucs beat you. My friend Kevin Clayton out there, I know, hopefully you're watching. He's a Lions fan. He's like, look to next season. Nah. You know why? Because the Atlanta Falcons, thanks a lot for participating in your daily exercise of choke job.
Here comes the money.
That's not it right there. There it is. The money was not there with Kirk Cousins. People are going, you going over to the dark side? No. I still think this division is winnable. Even though the Falcons have beat the Bucs twice, I still think the Bucs have an opportunity. Again, the eternal optimist in me to a fault, because I've been here all my life. I've seen this Bucs team, but go back to last year. It's kind of like deja vu. The Bucs are 4-7, left for dead. Everybody's ready to fire Todd Bowles, and then all of a sudden, you get one win, and you get two wins, and you get that confidence. And that could start today against this New York Giants team, and you should win this game versus the New York Giants. You should win next week's game versus the Carolina Panthers. You should win the week after that versus the Raiders. This schedule absolutely sets up for the Bucs to go on the run, and I'm not going to doubt them.
100%. And I mean, not only that, but go back to 2020. And I talked about this with Nick Wise and Chris Mathis yesterday on their.
Listen, you dropping names there on 95.3
every
WBAE.
Saturday, 9 to 11. My guys are rocking it. And I called in. I said, go back to 2020 and Tom Brady. It took him to week 10 to get the offense down. They went on that turn, or after week 8. It's not only under Bruce Arians, but who's been here since 2019, but also as Todd Bowles now. This team's MO is to actually start later in the season. You want to plug something in?
You want to plug it in?
I don't. I think there's a quarter. Oh, right over there, bro.
Right over there. I thought he wanted to check the show. It's the Sports Web on YouTube, or friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake, okay? Anybody that comes by.
That's why you froze.
We did?
No, I mean, you froze because you're like, oh, he wants information about me. He just wanted to borrow a plug. But
anytime somebody comes by, always be promoting. That's what we do, man. That's here exactly on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, live from Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, talking about Bucs versus the Giants, getting you ready. And I've heard no phone calls today. Bucs fans, are you guys out there? I know, listen, I can't share because Facebook being the Gestapo of sharing, because, I'm doing a lot of bad things here with sharing the show.
The groups, yeah,
I can't share the show anymore, so it's like.
I would never say anything bad about Facebook ever.
You got to do me a favor really quick. You got to go plug in that laptop, because the laptop is about to.
I told you to check it.
I did check it. Is it plugged in?
It was.
Well, plug it in again. Because we're about to lose power here, because sometimes, things don't get plugged in that need to get plugged in. So let's go in and see what we can do here with hopefully not losing power at this point. No, it's right. Yeah, right there. No. All right, stand by, guys. It should be plugged in. Is it not plugged in? Okay. Hold on a sec. This is what happens with live television sometimes, and it should be plugged in, and it's not for some reason. Is it not plugged in? All right, plug it in there, please. There we go. You got me? All right, good to go. See, there you go. Averted disaster. See, that's what happens. Everybody's like, are you really live, or is this recorded? No.
You're like a kid, though, because
I'm usually a perfectionist about this, but I gotta tell you, though, and again, collaboration with the JP Peterson show in a couple of weeks. Yeah, absolutely. Setting up this show on the field, it's hectic. You've got 30 to 35 minutes after the game live on Raymond James Stadium. And when I was driving in the Tesla today, another name drop here, which, by the way, driving in the Tesla today, I'm going about, 65, 70 miles an hour over the bridge from Tampa, moving to Tampa, coming here to St. Pete. And I'm feeling good about it, because not only am I alive on a Sunday morning, which, again, great post by Fred Goodies out there saying, it's great to be alive. We take that for granted.
Yes.
It is. We take that for granted. I had a smile on my face because not only it's game day today, and I hate the bye week, but also I'm working with my man, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, and I know that he could be my extra eyes. I think he's going to plug in stuff.
You're blaming it on me then.
I'm not blaming you on it. I just felt good about it. But then again,
then I peed on your parade.
Then again, you were like, nah. Then you went back to this. There you go. That's it. Good stuff. All right. So I'm absolutely excited about doing this show today, as always, here live from Ferg Sports and Bar.
Wings.
Yes.
I can smell them the moment we pulled up, and we've been here for 2.5 hours. The burgers, best of the Bay burgers going on down here.
I swear. I love chicken.
Oh,
I love it. I ate it last night. First time I ever ate a chicken sub from Publix. I need to live a
Oh,
little.
brother.
That was so
your
good.
First pub sub
First
chicken?
pub sub, yeah.
Did you get it with the buffalo sauce? Or
I did not. You know
Yeah,
why?
I don't like
because
it.
I'm old
Yeah.
and I have heartburn.
Okay.
I have acid reflux.
with you.
So if I would have got that, I probably would have been up like 4 or 5 o'clock this morning and probably
Yes.
would have been late for this production meeting that we had, 10 minutes before.
Well, we did have a meeting. We
Yes,
talked
we
about
did.
this.
We have a meeting.
We talked about
we always
whoever.
did.
We said whoever was our first phone call today for today's pregame show. We're also doing a halftime show and also a postgame
Yes.
for reaction.
Yes.
But our first caller was going to get what?
A pat on the back. I don't know. Bradford here. We gotta promote this here. Bucs Life
Yes.
right there. Great stuff.
Yes.
By Bucs Live. Scott Bradford, you guys do a great job. We shared the show to your platform. We're unbelievable to
He's
be a part
just
of
a
that.
guy.
He does a great
And the
job
What the
there.
Buck
Bulls
tailgate.
Life also does
Yes.
USF Bulls. So got to promote that. I got a friend by the name of Aldo. Don't know what his last name is, but he does these great
Yes.
Bucks bracelets there, little skull. Another one, you can get a bottle opener for yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and make a video for him, but good prices here. Bucks bracelets, Bucks swag, if you will, to have that sports swag on the evolution of Sports
Yes.
Talk Television, the sports web.
Yes.
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 So there you go. All right. Let's go out to Christopher Cole. 2 touchdowns there. So 2 touchdowns for Mike Evans.
Okay.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to fire the cannons for that. Let me also give the air horn. Good stuff. Tim says, what is Worth's status? We updated that, downgraded. He's not going to play in this game. Jamel Dean was activated from the IR. He's going to play in this game. And, of course, the return of Mike Evans. So not all bad news. Good news. It'll be nice when this Bucs team is 100%, which we haven't been able to say overall for the entire year. If they can get healthy, make a run, play their game. We talked about the defense, getting more pass rush. A couple weeks ago, we were discussing this at Raymond James Stadium with JP Peterson, talking about maybe going after JPP, but if you don't do that, which more than likely you're not going to, can this Bucs defense, especially Kalijah Cansey, Yaya Diaby, or JTS, step up? Because we know what you got in Villa coming into this game, 5 sacks. Can somebody else step up, in your opinion, Tampa Bay Ray?
Well, I will say this. Tommy DeVito, the main reason why he had that success, the 3 games he won last year in starting for the Giants, because he got rid of the ball quick and he got rid of the ball short.
Yeah.
And we found out their secondary now with Jamel Dean and coming back now with Mike Edwards. Again, we talked about that, but we're going to have to also know Levante's been the MVP on this defense and maybe on this team right behind Baker this year, right? But
I don't think he's playing up to Dave, and I think it's Father Time, right? So Father Time is undefeated. Does it help to have, KJ Britt, who hasn't been good in coverage, hasn't been a good tackler, hasn't right? The Bucs team has not been good at stopping the run, which will be another challenge that we could talk about today when you look at this matchup. Of course, the Giants lose Saquon Barkley in the offseason to the Philadelphia Eagles, who's been exceptional for them, but they got Tyron Tracy, who's been a diamond in the rough. And then you also have Devin Singletary, and they're averaging about, 4.95 yards a carry. And this Bucs team, their staple, not only getting after the passer, but also stopping the run game. That'll be one of those matchups today. Do you think the Bucs can sustain that? Can they be better with the running game there, with that bye week, resting these players? Can they stop that run game, that potent run game from the New York Giants?
Well, does your secondary keep them passes? Don't have any rule routes, but can you stop those short DeVito passes that he's going to try? Because the only passes he's going to throw are quick. Try long to keep the defense honest, but that's why you need that pressure on the quarterback from the defensive line. But, this defense can definitely step up against the run today and the short pass because, again, that secondary – trusting each other to know to be, because they've played together. They have got familiarity with each other.
Very nice.
And also getting some good pressure on DeVito up front.
So I kind of jumped off from the question. Yaya Diaby, Kalijah Cansey, JTS, Nelson. Can any of these guys step up, or are they just guys in your opinion?
No, I think this is a very talented defensive line.
Okay.
You got Joe Tryon-Shoyinka dropping off in coverage 60 to 70% of the time. He's still coming up and getting pressure on those packages where they have him rush from the outside, and he's actually getting more towards the quarterback than past him than in years past. I think Logan Hall, Sac Avenue, and Vita Vea, and we're talking about a Kalijah Kancey and Yaya now. This is a dog. We're talking
They got plenty of talent.
Yes.
I think that's why a lot of the Bucs fan base is disappointed with not only Bowles, but the defense, because they're a very talented roster still. I get it. The linebacking situation, we talked about it ad nauseum with KJ Britt not being a great tackler, not being great in coverage, kind of like last year with Devin White, trying out Russell. That necessarily hasn't worked out. Has that had an effect on David? I definitely think so. And also David's age. So you would like to get better in that situation. With all that being said, though, when you know about a defense, it's all predicated on the pressure up front. You're not getting a consistent pass rush there besides Vita Vea. You need a Yaya Diaby to step up. You need a JTS to step up. And I feel like, we've been talking about JTS for how many years? When is that light going to turn on? I always go back to this. My dad, he said, sometimes you're all over the place, but when that light turns on, boy, you're going to be something else. And, hopefully the light has definitely turned on for the Sports Web area, the evolution. I want to see that same evolution, if you will, when it comes to JTS, with that light turning on, with him getting more pass pressure, with him finishing off with sacks for this team.
100%. And it's not just about the talent and they have across the entire board, but the thing I love is, and tell me if I'm wrong. Let me ask you a question, because you're always asking me the question.
Sure.
We know John McKay. We know Tony Dungy. We know teams where the Buccaneers defense was just so incredible, but their offenses were anemic. When you have an offense that's producing at the clip that the Buccaneers offense is producing, Liam Cohen and Baker Mayfield and the guys.
By the way, 10th in rushing, 10th in passing. I mean, that's balance. That's the balance that you've been searching for with this Bucs offense, and you got that this year, even with all the multitude, Leo Word, of injuries. Thank you, Wordsmith. Yes.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, they're giving the other team's offense quicker chances because your offense is getting off the field consistently and pretty quickly. I mean, not quick, like 2 plays quick, like the Bulls yesterday against Tulsa, the Golden Hurricane.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're giving the other team. There's a Bucs fan right there. Go Bucs.
That Tulsa game yesterday was just a track meet.
Did I call him Tulsa, right?
You did Tulsa.
Golden Hurricane.
Golden Hurricane. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure you weren't laughing at me, because usually it's me. I'm getting better. I've been practicing.
It's good, man. Those broadcasting school is paying off, my friend. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. Enough of us, more of you, as Travis Faley of Rocket Sports would say. Let's go out to Curtis in Newport Richie. Welcome to the Evolution, live here from Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. What's on your mind?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
All right, man. It's another beautiful day. It's time to get fat this week.
Yeah, get fat.
Hey, I'm gonna quote Jameis Winston, and hopefully we get to eat a W this.
And by the way, a lot of Bucs fans rooting for Jameis Winston. Fine.
Dude, I always root for. Listen, I was watching that game Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, Jameis just threw a pick. Oh, wait, Jameis just went down and scored. I'm like, oh God.
I thought the game. I thought the game was over. I thought it was typical Winston. He also had a fumble in that game. They let Pittsburgh, because I thought Cleveland, for the majority of it, dominated until midway through that third, late in that fourth quarter. But give credit to where credit is due. Even with the 2-8 Browns team, the fan base showed up to a snow game, and Jameis Winston showed up later in that game to move them to 3-8.
I will say this about Jameis. I appreciate him as the man that he's become. You can tell how much he's grown. You can, like his post game interviews. I love it. You can tell how much he's grown as a person.
Spiritually.
Yes, yes. And I have a lot of respect for that. And you know what? I hope he goes a long way. I really does. I mean, we're not even going to talk about the whole Deshaun Watson thing, but
you just did, Curtis. I'm kidding.
Well, listen, it was a albatross
Leo
of
word.
a contract that that the Browns signed Watson, and they deserve everything they get because they gave up on Baker Mayfield. Thank you very much, Cleveland Browns, for doing that.
Hey, look at Peter with the big the triple words on Scrabble.
I'm telling you, man, I'm full of it today.
You're full of something.
But yeah, man, I'm sorry. It's good. I'm glad to see Jameis doing pretty good, man. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, he'll get every opportunity to prove to the Cleveland Browns or another organization that he is starting quarterback worthy because he's a free agent next year. So
you may find Joe Flacco. You may find Joe Flacco in Cleveland with Jameis still there next year as a 1-2 package. I mean, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And listen, we've seen quarterbacks before, right? So not every quarterback is going to develop right away. You know, Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Prime example. Did he get every opportunity with the Cleveland Browns? I don't think so. He played through, multiple GMs, multiple offensive coordinators. And
we already said this. We said this Wednesday night.
Yes.
James is. Baker's as tough as a $2 steak, man.
Yes, he is. I love
that guy, man. Jesus, I don't know what it is, but this Giants game, I don't like this game.
You don't like this game?
Why, Curtis?
Well, it could be a trap game, right? And then I go back to what Harry the Greek said the other night. Right.
If you pay attention, ever since Daniel Jones, which we know we're not even going to talk about that, since Daniel Jones has come to the Giants, whoever's been the quarterback for the Giants, we've always played them close over the last couple of years.
Well, remember, Daniel Jones, and I know he's not playing for the Giants anymore, but against that Todd Bowles defense had an over 336 yards in his first game at Raymond James Stadium. And that is the matchup that a lot of Bucs fans are going to be watching today and are, afraid of because of backup quarterbacks and their success versus a Todd Bowles defense. So it's time for this defense to step up. I'm tired of all the talk of this Bucs defense. They need to step up. They got plenty of talent. Jamel Dean is back. It's time to make stops. Your offense is carrying the load, even with all the injuries that they've had. It's time for this defense to do what we know they can do. It's time for Todd Bowles to be aggressive and stop.
I'm happy to have Edwards back too.
Absolutely. You get Edwards back, you get Dean back. So does that improve the secondary for you today? Who's your player of the game, Curtis?
Mike Evans.
Okay, so Mike Evans. Is Mike Evans the next question? Does he have over 100 yards of receiving? And do you think, again, I'll put this out there. Do you think that he's in danger of not having that 1,000-yard receiving season?
No, I think Mike Evans is going to go effing nuts the last couple games of the season.
Okay, all right.
Go.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Curtis.
Yes.
Who's got more yards rushing today? Is it Bucky or is it Rashad? It's going to be. It's a little.
I don't know.
It's damp. It's
I don't
not
know.
rainy, 61 degrees.
You know what? Peter? This is me and Peter going back to the preseason.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn who has the most rushing yards.
I remember you guys had that conversation too.
Just keep pounding the rock because I'm going to tell you something. We talked about it this year. If we ran the ball, we were going to have a great offense. And I was listening to you guys right before I called. If this defense stands up a little bit, just a little bit, this team can get back where they want to be.
Well, they got to. And listen, if they just had an average defense, could you see some wins? I mean, you had opportunities against the Atlanta Falcons to win those games, both of those games.
But the thing about it, Peter, is every game all 6 games we've lost this year. What game weren't we in? The only game that we weren't in was the damn Denver game.
I mean, and the Denver Broncos, they have a hex over the NFC South. Thank you very much, Sean Payton, for doing what you did to the Atlanta Falcons. And once again, the Atlanta Falcons, thanks for showing up. They're getting ready to choke. I'm telling you, they're getting ready to choke.
Listen, this team is on the verge of doing exactly what they did last year. We got beat up at the beginning of the year, just like last year. And this team is getting healthy when they need to get healthy again.
Hey, Curtis, can I ask you a question? You got the Packers and the Niners playing tonight in the 8 o'clock game. Bucs fans want to see the Packers definitely beat the Niners. That NFC West, best team in the West is the Seahawks at 6-4. The rest of them are 5-5. But do the Packers?
I thought Arizona was winning that division.
Oh, Arizona! I'm sorry, you are right. Seahawks are in second. 49ers are in fourth, but there's a 3-way tie at 5-5. Can the Packers take care of the 49ers, or are you worried the Niners can win that game and make it even harder road for the Bucs to travel to the playoffs?
Very good question.
I got something for you. So I put in a ticket this morning, and I took Green Bay. There's 2 reasons why. Number one, San Fran's defensive line is beat up, real bad, and that's the strength of that defense. I don't care. I love Fred Warner, but without that defensive line, nobody's afraid of that secondary. Nobody is. And then number 2, you're playing in Green Bay in the cold.
Yeah.
On Sunday Night Football.
Shut McCaffrey down. You own this game. Green Bay just needs to hop on it.
I still like the San Francisco 49ers, even though you're playing in the cold. They have the talent. They've been there before. I feel like they're going to make a run there to win that NFC West. Arizona's been a shock. Kyler Murray's healthy. It seems like he's definitely they're buying in to Cannon, the coach there, the second year. Maybe they're learning how to win, but right now I still think San Francisco, Brock Purdy, lots of talent there.
You know what? I like San Fran, but I'm going to tell you this. I don't know who I was watching, but that San Fran's championship window is closed.
Really?
It's over. It's over, bro.
Wow. All
it's
right.
over, bro. How many times have they been there, bro, in the last 4 years?
It's
It's been in the last 5 years. It's been the Bucs, the 49ers, and the Eagles. That is and the Rams. But I mean, San Fran has been there twice, and they can't get it done. They can't.
Is Brock Purdy out of that game for San Fran?
Wait,
is he? Well, this is what Harry is saying. So we may have missed something here. We may have missed it.
Oh, it's over there.
Yes, Purdy and Bosa out for the 49ers. Allen to start. So you know what? I'm going to change my pick there. I definitely think Green Bay would win that game. You're exactly right. See, this is what happens. Like, you're so locked into USF. You're so locked into this and that and the other thing. Yeah. And then you just kind of forget. And then there we go. We got Harry the Greek. And by the way, where are you at?
Where's he at? Where's the guy?
Why aren't you coming into this broadcast here?
Harry is sitting back. Harry is sitting back somewhere, getting ready to watch his Bears play.
Yes.
He doesn't want to be disturbed.
Who are the Bears?
Harry, we love you, and we know you love Caleb Williams.
Yes.
And you know what? Good luck to you. Just get rid of that damn coach. God, get rid of that guy.
All right, give me a score prediction here. Bucs versus the Giants here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
31-17.
All right, I like it. I like it.
Let's go!
All right, Curtis, we'll see you on the halftime show and the post-game edition of the Evolution. All right, live from Ferg.
Thanks, brother.
All right, man, good stuff. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Christopher Cole here. Werfs is out, absolutely. Let's go out to Tim. I'm more excited to see the pass defense do their job. That's what it comes down today, defense. That's what it comes down today, Bucs fans. Do your job. Let's go out to this guy right here who does a great job on this show. Professional handicapper extraordinaire of this show, Mr. Harry the Greek. Welcome to the Evolution.
I didn't know you were going to pick up so quick. I'm getting ready to, go in the name of the Father, the Son, and Papa Bear Hallis. Because I'm worshiping Caleb Williams.
Well, listen, I know that there's a lot of people right now that were excited, some flashes of brilliance, if you will, with that team last week with the change of offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And can we finally put this narrative to bed? The Rookie of the Year is going to be Caleb Williams. If he continues to play the way he has, even though he's not throwing touchdown passes, guess what? He's putting them in positions to win, and he's not turning the ball over. But that's not why I wanted to call, Pete.
Well, I'm gonna bet you a bag that it's gonna be Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders there, especially if they continue to win. That young man has definitely been the better quarterback at this point. That doesn't necessarily mean Williams can't.
You better check the stats again.
Well,
because you're a little off on there right now.
All
so
right.
be very careful what you're going to do. You can't afford to lose any money. But what I wanted to call and talk to you about, Petey, was
I know he's slapping me around. That's what Harry the Greek does. Yeah, go ahead, Harry.
Tampa. What a game! I'm going to tell everybody right now, don't salivate too much. There's a reason why this line is not more than what it's supposed to. This is a trap game. This is just like the other New York Giant Tampa Bay game when I told everybody that New York would cover in the first half and then bet all your money in the second half. Look, here's the deal. You're going up into a hostile environment. They just got rid of a quarterback. They're rejuvenated. You've got the DeVito, the kid coming from home who's going to be playing. I'm not saying that Tampa's losing this game, but it's going to be a lot closer in the first half what people think. This is how you bet this game, gentlemen. You ready? You let the game start and then take a look at the line. Then bet an in-game line. Don't give up the 5 or 6 points. You might only get 2.5 or 3. Tampa's winning this game, but don't be fooled. Do not ever take this team right now -6 or 7.
Who do you think is the player of the game? Is it Mike Evans and his return to the offense? And do you have confidence here that he will be able to get that 1,000 yards receiving, as a lot of Bucs fans are kind of eyeing that record to tie Jerry Rice and eventually surpass Jerry Rice next year?
Great question. My player of the game is going to be one Baker Mayfield. I think he's going to bake today. I think he's going to struggle a little bit in the first half. I think he's going to go off in the second half. The second part of your question, I would love to see Mike Evans get that 1,000 yards. But let's be real. I don't think that's what's on his mind. I think what's on his mind is winning football games right now and what he can do to contribute to get back into football shape, because he's been out for quite a while. And you know what? They're going to roll a lot of double and even triple coverage on Mike Evans. So you might not get the kind of game you're thinking of, especially a guy with not with fresh legs, after being out for a while. So I wouldn't expect too much from Mike Evans in the first half, but I do anticipate he might get about 80 to 100 yards, maybe a touchdown.
Hey, Harry, the Vikings play at Soldier Field against the Bears today. As Bucs fans, we're looking for every bit of help we can get with teams in front of us, the Vikings being one of them there in the NFC Central, or NFC North, I'm sorry. NFC Central. Yeah. Can the Bears take care of the Vikings today? Do you find the Bears more like going for draft picks at this point? Or are they just a dumpster fire and not going to be able to do this? Or we get some help from the Bears, a little assist as we're trying to get back into this wild card run.
Great question, Ray. And I'm not saying this because I'm a homer. You know that I don't bet on a team just because I like them.
That's why
Let me put it to you this way: if this team had a better offensive line, they'd be better than the Vikings. They'd be right up there with Detroit. That's how good this team is. They are talented at every position, with the exception of their offensive line. With that being said, according to Vegas, everybody that knows, because the disparaging records between Chicago and Minnesota, that Minnesota would be a 7 or 8 point favorite. If I told you that Minnesota was only a 3 point favorite, that means Vegas is begging people to bet Minnesota. Don't be fooled. This is a trap game. Bears win this game outright.
All right.
Going back to the Bucs-Giants game, you think that's going to be closer than a lot of people predict? Do you see any chance at this point for the Giants to pull off the upset? And if they do pull off the upset over the Bucs today, do you officially start to look in a new direction for a coach if Todd Bowles loses this game today for the Bucs?
Well, Buc fans, you don't have to follow Peter and Ray and everybody else to the Skyway. This is not going to happen this week. The Bucs do win this game. The first half, it's going to be a lot closer. Don't be surprised that the Giants are winning at the end of the first half. Don't be surprised. It's going to be a lot closer than what people think. But the second half, I expect for Tampa to go ahead and just push the gas pedal down. You got to remember, man, it's 40 degrees up there in New York right now. It's been raining up there. I don't know what the weather's going to be like today, but it's going to be cold and damp.
Yeah. And Tristan Wirfs is not going to play in this game. That's my other concern coming into it, gentlemen, is that, the Giants can get after a passer. Ojulari there. Of course, Burns, Dexter Lawrence, that big hoss, as my uncle would say, in that middle, that interior line, especially a Graham Barton, who's had rookie mistakes, but also has played unbelievable as a rookie for this team. So once again, a challenge. But I'm looking at that left tackle spot. How concerned are you with Tristan Wirfs out of this game?
Always concerned when you got arguably the top two left tackle in all of football, not going to be playing. But I'm assuming that they're going to do their homework and they're going to slide a lot of protection. You got to remember, when you're bringing Mike Evans back, you're not going to have to run a whole bunch of 5 wide receiver sets. So they're going to be running a lot more like what Ray likes to talk about. Not so much the jumbo package, but you might see a lot of tight ends, 2 backs in the backfield, helping that left tackle out. Don't worry, it's not going to be like Donovan Smith giving up the cheeks, looking like a human turnstile when they're going after the quarterback.
Well, you had to get you definitely had to get Donovan Smith in there because
his best ability was his cheeks availability.
Well, his best ability
that's
was
true. But guys, look, man. With that being said, Tampa, it's going to be a close game in the first half. That's just my opinion. If it's not, that's wonderful. It means Tampa's just going to blow them out. But there's a reason why this line is not as much as what it's supposed to be. Okay? That's because Tampa's on the road. You're just getting Mike Evans back. It's going to be a little bit more close to the vest. I think they're going to run the football to try to set up the play-action pass. Man, let me tell you something. Todd Bowles isn't stupid. Neither is the OC. They know they're missing arguably their best offensive lineman, and they do not want Baker Mayfield on his back. And I'm going to stand by my prediction because of the remaining schedule with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everything looks good when you got New Orleans in the game. You still have 2 games with Carolina. This team, after they win today, is going to be a game out of first place. I still have this team winning a division in the South.
I agree, and I said at the beginning of the year, 11 wins. I still think that's possible. I get it. The Chargers are on the schedule, but we saw it last year. That's why I was saying the Bucs fans at the beginning of the broadcast, don't look to fire Todd Bowles right away. It's a love-hate relationship. They love him when he wins. They hate him. They want to fire him. The rumor this week was Bill Belichick possibly could be eyeing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers along with other teams and the Cowboys and the Jaguars.
They've got Bill Belichick going to Tampa, New Orleans, Chicago, Indianapolis, Dallas. Hell, he might be coaching some college team next year. Who the hell knows? And you know what? Furthermore,
would you take him in Chicago? Would you take him in Chicago over what you have right now?
What if the NFL?
No.
What if the
game's passed them by, guys.
Well, I'm saying,
that's just my opinion.
What if the NFL script calls for a point to be made that maybe it was always the quarterback and not the coach because he's pissed somebody off, and whatever team brings him in there, you automatically start behind the 8 ball because the script doesn't have Belichick making another comeback. And that's the crazy thing. I do believe he's still a tough as nails coach. Kid's been like since he was 3 years old, breaking down film with his dad, Navy film on the wall in the dining room. But at the end of the day, this guy's doing good in broadcasting. They're just using these rumors just to make print.
Well, listen, I think there is.
They did it with Bill Cowher too, guys.
Well, listen,
remember,
guys, there's an itch there with Belichick. He wants to coach. The problem with Belichick is he wants full control. And if I'm an NFL team out there like the Jaguars or like the Bucs or like the Cowboys to give him full control, no, I say I need a general manager under you or over you at this point to make those.
And Peter Aaron Rodgers is going to want to still play quarterback next year. Okay. Let you move on, man. That's just a narrative that people are just trying to build it up. All I'm concerned about right now is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go up to New York, take care of business, and win at least 5 more games down the home stretch, and you've got this division. You've got one of the easiest schedules in the National Football League from here on out. Forget about Bill Belichick and all that nonsense, because if the Bucs win the division like we're predicting, Todd Bowles is going to be sitting rightfully right where he's supposed to be as a head coach of this football team.
At the left hand of Bruce Arians. Harry, what kind of wings do you and Jamie want me to bring home for you guys today?
Yes.
What flavor of
and by the way, the Scooby-Doo mystery machine just rolled by there. I think Scoob and Gang is Daphne or Velma in the van.
Were you a Daphne or Velma guy?
I like Daphne.
Harry, are you a Daphne or Velma guy?
We just had the mystery machine.
I've had visions of both of them together. I mean, I
don't know. That's different, man.
You know what we call that? You know what we call that? Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks?
Roll Shaggy?
Anyway, listen, guys, seriously. I went to quarterback that he's supposed to. You talk about a close-knit football team, that plays right into Tampa's backyard, especially with Todd Bowles. You want to run the football as an opposing team running up against a Todd Bowles defense, they'll play defense like that all day long.
Love it. All right,
Yes.
score prediction, Bucs versus the Giants today, Greek.
Score prediction is going to be 27. You ready? Nah, 26-18. It's going to be a screwy game.
All right. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire of this show. We'll see you soon here on The Evolution. All right, my friend?
Take care. Mild, well done.
Mild, well done wings.
Well done.
So there you go. Tampa Bay Rays got you, or I got you. We got you here on the Sports Web. You got to get down here sometime and come down here. We'll get a second.
I got to get the invite.
You're always invited. What are you talking about, Harry the Greek?
Harry the Greek is like the redheaded stepchild. Just to let everybody out there in the World Wide Web know this, I'm available.
Shut up and get out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense. I'm available. He's not available. He's contracted with the Sports Web. Shut up. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Getting you ready for Bucs versus the New York Football Giants. Giants losers of 5 in a row. Bucs losers of 4 in a row. Something has got to give at this point. Of course, we talked about some of those matchups here. Let's go back out to the texting line here. Let's go out to Eric. Let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs. Let's go out to Tim. Aldo Nova, I believe that is his name. With once again, the bracelet swag right there. I'm more excited to see the pass defense do their job. Thank you, Tim, for the comment. We'll go back out to Harry here. Bring some wings, Peter. Well done. Mild, please. That's always a good thing. Let's go out to Christopher Cole. Chiefs will lose their second straight game today. Book it. At least Carolina will cover the 10 points. You buying that? Chiefs last week, and a surprise to no one, because if you watch this show, I told you Buffalo, Josh Allen, their team without Stephon Diggs. Way to go to the Buffalo Bills. This may be the year they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Harry the Greek also predicted that. So how surprised were you by that result of last week? And the Buffalo Bills, top team in the AFC, top team in the NFL, in your opinion?
No, Baltimore Ravens are the top team. Buffalo's definitely.
Really?
I think so. I mean, it doesn't have to. They did not use Derrick Henry last week. They ran him 19 times the entire game. They only ran the ball 19 times. The Ravens, but I think the Ravens are right there. I still think the Bills are a talented team. They're playing that Sean McDermott type of a tough defense, smash mouth football. And Josh Allen, it could be the MVP if it wasn't for the fact that someone else is already the MVP and he happens to play for the Ravens. So, but yeah, the Chiefs, I mean, they're still doing it. Andy Reid's offense is everywhere he's got guys coached. His teams to go back to Philadelphia and how dangerous he was and wicked. The fact that, but I still think that the Panthers covering 10, I'd like that. I'd take the Panthers to cover a 10-point spread on it. Is it the game in Carolina or is it in KC?
I don't know. It's a great point. Let's go ahead and check.
If it's in Carolina, I'll 100% bet to cover the 10-point spread. If it's in KC, then I got to do it.
No, it's in Carolina.
I'll take it to cover
Kansas
that 10-point
City.
spread.
All right, so there you go right there. So Christopher Cole said that the last couple of weeks. He believes that Carolina could have a chance. And you never know. That's the thing about this game with the Bucs and Giants. Everybody says it's a Bucs win. It's a trap game also. There could be a trap game. You play one game at a time, but there could be a trap game. Like you said, you're going into an environment where you're excited about starting a new quarterback there in DeVito. You do have a defense that can get after the ball. They feel like the quarterback change there. The reason why you make that quarterback change is because 4 out of the 5 games, this Giants team has struggled with scoring over 20 points. They've scored 20 points or less. That's not going to get it done in the National Football League. So there you go with Christopher Cole. Nick Bosa, he means not Joey Bosa, is out. Let's go out to the Greek. You all missed the main reason why Green Bay could beat San Francisco. No Brock, and again, no Bosa. Gruden to the Bears. This has been talked about as just a couple weeks ago. The Bucs organization embraced John Gruden, had him back. Maybe there's a situation where you bring him into the Ring of Honor. What I know there's fans out there who like Gruden, who believe he should be back in the Ring of Honor. Where do you stand on that, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy?
I never thought, they covered it up literally hours after it happened in the emails and such. And it hurt. It hurt the Glaziers for what, some of the things that he had said with those emails to Bruce Allen and all those, the 5,000 of the 250,000 that actually saw the light of day, just enough to put John Gruden out of the ring and out of a job. At the end of the day, inviting him back because of what the Gruden name going back to his father, who was a scout on the Buccaneers teams back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And then Jay having been here in Orlando, I mean, it just behooves us not to have him as part of this. And plus the statue of him celebrating down the sideline and closing the vet, it still exists at one Buccaneer place.
It does.
So it's like at the end of the day, you kind of punished him. I was kind of hoping they would have pulled him back out last week, but you know what? Take it slow. The fact that he was in the owner's box for that last home game 2 weeks ago, it gave one pause for cause.
Do you think he coaches in the NFL again? I've thrown it out there. He's been a part of that New Orleans Saints situation. They've already fired their coach. Could you see him ending back up in the NFC South? Could you see him ending up with the Jacksonville Jaguars, with the Trevor Lawrence there? Because we know that Gruden doesn't necessarily like working with young quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence, to a certain degree, is a veteran, but has been highly disappointing there with Doug Peterson. They haven't gotten it done. Could Gruden end up with Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones with the Dallas Cowboys? Could you see Gruden back in the NFL coaching at some point next year or the year after?
He can't be with the Dallas Cowboys because he's got an ego as big as Jerry's, and Jerry's not going to have a coach with the same size ego. But what do you hear? I know something you don't know.
I'm just saying. I think eventually he'll end up back there. And people say, well, there were some allegations, some things he said. Yes, there were some, and some emails. I think eventually, if there is some type of settlement between him and the National Football League, that eventually he'll end up back in coaching again. So Christopher Cole says the Bears fans out there, do you like that move? Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'm your Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, along with Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, live here from Ferg Sports Bar and Grill.
Yes.
The wings are smelling good right now. All kinds of football fans, not just Bucs fans, lots of Lions fans today.
Commanders, Lions.
Yes. Commanders,
Chiefs.
Lions, oh my.
Oh, and their dogs loving cats is mayhem down here.
There you go.
Don't forget, Wednesday night.
And you got the Scooby-Doo mystery van going by. Yes.
Wednesday night.
Where's Shaggy at? Where's Fred?
Shaggy. Wait, are you talking about Shaggy? Wednesday night, the 27th, the 32nd anniversary from the world famous Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. Now listen, we're gonna have a band up here on the party deck. We're gonna have a band out back on the stage. There's my son.
And there's your son right there. Come on over. Come on. What are you shy?
This kid knows more
the
ball
chip
than
off
I
an
do.
old
Get in
block
here.
there. You got to lean down, my friend. Come on over here. Mr. Tristan Kennedy, welcome to the Evolution right there. A chip off the old block, the old man. What do you think about this Bucs-Giants game today, my friend?
I think we have a good chance with everyone back, or not everyone, but Mike and Jamel.
Okay.
I think we match up well, especially with the problems they're having at quarterback. No Daniel Jones. He's just got cut or released.
Tommy, got cut, released.
Cutlets.
You got Tommy Cutlet, right? Tommy DeVito, Danny DeVito, as Harry would say, right there. Yes.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem we're gonna have is with their defensive line. I think our run game might be a little rough, but they got Dexter Lawrence. They just got a bunch of dogs on their line.
Linebacker, right? I mean, they got some talent on that defense.
Burns, Old Jalary. Yeah, absolutely.
I will say, though, I am really excited to see who they're going to match up with Mike today because their corners, when it comes to their secondary, it's almost like a no-name defense. It's crazy.
All right, you play some football.
Yeah.
Tell everybody out there who you play for, what position you play for.
I play for Osceola Fundamental High School, and I'm a center.
Okay, center. So you got to love the interior line. Do you like what Graham Barton has done in his time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a rookie?
I think he's been really good. He's been really consistent, and that's what you look for in a rookie. I think he's been able to maintain his blocks, and I think every time you see him go up to the line, he's obviously directing everyone else on the line. He's directing, Cody Mock, Ben Bredesen next to him, Tristan Wirfs, Luka Decky. I think he's just really he's really good to have in the locker room. He's really good to have on that starting line because he brings a lot of energy to it, and he's consistent.
You talk about energy. You talk about playing center. What do you have to do? What are you coached on playing center and at Osceola? What's the most important technique or thing that you learned from your coaching there at that position?
You just have to know what you are about to do. You cannot go to the line not being unsure about what you're about to do, what block you're about to make. You have to know absolutely what guy you're about to go push over, about what guy you're about to go hit. You have to you just can't. There's no second guessing anything. You just have to be if one of our mottos is if you mess up 100%.
How much of an impact has this guy over here had on you?
A lot, actually, because like he's been the main football influence my entire life.
Really, go give me a memory, because we're all about dads and football on this show.
Really early on in my life, I remember we went to with our cousins, Kale and Uncle Teddy. We went to a Panthers game, and that was one of my earliest memories of like a football game. Like I remember just going, and I remember the energy, and I remember like hearing the cannons fire for the first time. Like that was pretty crazy.
And what jersey did we wear that day?
I'm pretty sure I had a Mike Evans jersey.
Mike Evans.
There you go.
And
All
I
right.
had Muscle Hamster.
All right, so he's returning. A lot of Bucs fans out there don't necessarily, and again, some Bucs fans, you're too negative, too pessimistic. Leo Ward about Evans coming back. They're getting that 1,000-yard receiving season. Do you think he can do that?
Yeah. Do you think he can do it?
I think he can absolutely do it. Why would you rule out Mike Evans? The level of consistency, I get it, hamstring injury, but with the way that offense is going right now, even with all the injuries they've had and Baker Mayfield throwing the ball, why not? Why can't he get it? What do you say?
Something I've been talking about a lot is people keep saying, well, he has to average like 90-something, 100-something yards a game just to get to that 1,000-yard mark. What people don't realize is, Mike has those games where he'll have like 60 yards, 70 yards off of like 4 or 5 targets because he's getting doubled all game. But then he has those games where he'll go for like 280 yards and 2 touchdowns, out of nowhere. Like it's crazy. And so like it just kind of depends on the day. I think it depends on where he is, especially coming back off this hamstring injury. It really just, I think he has a lot of confidence in Baker, and I think Baker has a lot of confidence in him. So I think we're probably going to see a lot of him just putting it up to doubling when he's on double today.
I got the weather for today. It's 61 degrees, the expected high there in the Meadowlands or at MetLife Stadium.
Beautiful. It's like that. It's like that here. 61,
Yeah,
65. I mean, football weather. I mean, it's not frigid cold. You're not playing at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. All that
I'm scared
nonsense.
About the turf, though.
The turf stinks.
Tristan,
the
the
turf
Rays
is
are
awful.
going to play another baseball game here in St. Petersburg, or were you on the fence with that? You're hoping.
So.
I mean, we all hope, right? Of course, down here having a great day, but I mean, with everything happening this week with the past, the commission and then the St. Pete, we're going to build a roof for this.
I think it's right now, even though we've had this deal in place for what seems like forever, it's been been discussed for like 4 or 5 years now. And like on a real scale, like on a reality, like it's actually going to happen. I think it's kind of stupid that we're at a point where we're now just unsure about what's going to happen. Like we can't make any calls as to what's going to happen in the future. But like, I honestly think that, Stu Sternberg and actually the entire Rays organization haven't been considering the fans and all this. They've been. I mean, that's really most baseball teams, most owners is they just kind of. Want as much, they want to squeeze as much profit out of it as they can, honestly. But I think the fans are, the people that show up for the games. They're the ones that, give these people a platform. I think they should be more kind of respected and accounted for in the discussion, which they haven't been.
Completely agree. You did good with this kid, by the way. He's absolutely impressive. All right. Score prediction, player of the game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New York Giants.
Score prediction. I'm gonna have to take the Bucs by. I'm gonna take the Bucs in by a touchdown.
Touchdown. Okay, so close game here. Player of the game.
Player of the game. Antoine Winfield Jr.
All right, so there you go. Antoine Winfield Jr. will fire those cannons. There you go, Tristan Kennedy. Yes, thanks a lot for coming on the Evolution. Open phone lines if you want to talk.
Total dog.
Absolutely.
Working now, too.
Explaining, working, playing center.
Yeah,
you
working
did good,
now.
man.
Brother,
good dad. Dad of the year right
Drove
there.
himself down here. I got designated driver from now on.
Awesome. Open phone. You need to. There you go. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Who's your Bucs player of the game? And what is your score prediction? Do you feel like it's going to be an easy game? Is it going to be a trap game? What are your concerns? How excited are you about Evans returning? Mike Evans, Mike Edwards returning, Jamel Dean to that secondary. Can the defense do their job today? That's one of my biggest keys. And can that offensive line without Tristan Wirfs? Can they handle that Giants pass rush, which I'm concerned about?
Look at how beautiful it is.
Yes.
Beautiful it is out here.
Yes.
I mean, this is the glorious. You and I were talking about this last night over the Bulls game. We're like, tomorrow is going to be to all the years we've been doing this, 6 years now? 6 years.
And great cameraman, by the way, Mr. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy.
I never set a camera up and went cold shot. We used a shot I actually put on before we even turned a laptop on. That was crazy.
Yes.
I used the Bucs flag as a center.
Yes, sir. And we got people in the background kind of wondering what this is. Once again, it's the evolution of Sports Talk Television, live from Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. Let's go out to the comments here. Mr. Travis Faley of Rocket Sports and Entertainment, also moving to Tampa now.
You didn't eat his lunch yesterday on him.
I did not. I did not. But listen, I didn't do it on purpose. I mean, he'll throw it out there. I asked Leo Hackerty, the legend. Himself, from a Coach Scout and now media member, if I could eat that. He said, oh, yeah, Travis gave that to you. I was like, all right. I mean, you're going to throw food at me. Of course, so you throw food at me. I'm going to eat it.
Well, and let's preface this by saying the Raymond James staff for the Bulls games, they do a fantastic job. We got the Coke. They made coffee yesterday with a little chili, and they put the sandwiches out. You either got a wrap or a sandwich. You get them. They're there for like 2 hours, but then eventually they just get put away.
Right. It's right there. The cookies there. The chips are there. I'm going to eat it.
Travis
and then it wasn't there. There was nothing there when I got there yesterday. I live right down the freaking street, and I got caught up by freaking traffic again.
Oh, and let's build a stadium over there.
We'll see. We'll see how it works out with the Tampa Bay Rays playing at Steinbrenner Field this year. I'm excited about that situation. Bucs should not replace Bulls based on this season. All right, Misador, thank you very much for the comment. Yeah. Let's go out to Travis. What is a hoss? Well, you asked my uncle what a hoss is. A big guy, big son of a gun, if you will.
Hoss Tui.
Shut up and be quiet with that nonsense. I knew you were going to go there with that.
You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Anytime.
All right, school will do much better today. Scheme will help him today. Bucky needs a big game. Bucky Irving, I think a lot of people would expect him to get predominantly the carries there when it comes to the running game. Rashad White, we talked about it, better out of the backfield as a pass catcher. I like to see your Sean Tucker. Liam Cohen talked about that this week, getting him more touches. I get it. It's a good problem, but all talented players. You gotta figure this out here to use all these weapons somehow, some way.
And here's what I want to see the Bucs do. I want to see Rashad White, Cade Otton, Mike Evans, Rashad White, Cade Otton, Mike Evans. Jumping. You got to get Mike 100 yards. You got to get him back on 100 yards.
Sure,
he's healthy. You got to give him. You got to average.
To me, the offense is predicated through him, and if they start to double team and bracket coverage,
and then go out of the backfield to Rashad,
to White,
bring him in, take him deep, and have Mike cutting across the middle. All he needs is some good big plays with some yak, and he gets that 100 yards. The Bucs get the victory, control the ball.
And let's go ahead and check this really quick. Bucs inactives, because I do have a point about this. I want to see who the inactives are for the day. Did you see the inactives for this game?
I did not. I'm sorry. I was too busy.
Okay, the inactives right now, Tyke Smith, that is a major loss.
Yes.
To me, he's coming on.
Yes.
Funderburg is not playing. Jose Ramirez not playing. Of course, we talked about Tristan Wirfs, Devin Culp, Ernest Brown. Okay. The second guy that needs to step up in this game, former New York Giant, he wants to do it.
Yes.
Sterling Shepard.
Yes.
I need him to step up today as that second wide receiver, because once again, if they bracket that coverage and if they're able to cover the tight end, which, by the way, this secondary, this defense, terrible. This is where the matchup for the Bucs could be exploited, if you will. Leo Word, once again, getting with the words today.
Yeah, a lot of words.
Yeah, you could definitely have that matchup, take advantage of that. Sterling Shepard has an opportunity to step up in this game. I like to see him step up.
Yes.
He's a wide receiver who's done it in this league. You know that he's going to be excited about going back to New Jersey there against his former team. So I like to see him step up.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Sterling Shepard end around at least one time, because we've seen that with that cat this year, because everybody's trying to contain everything else. And Sterling Shepard, one end around, 3 passes, 33 yards. I like it. Not that I'm saying he doesn't get fed, but he's going to be more of a decoy. I think you got to go with your 3 levels, and then Sterling's but yeah, big game. He was vocal this week about this game.
Yes.
Going back to the MetLife Stadium has got to be pretty good.
Exactly. And players, they have that extra oomph, if you will, that chip on their shoulder to be productive, to show their team that they made a mistake and let him go. And look, Shepard's been productive in the league. He's been productive for the Giants. So if anybody has a breakout game today, could it be Shepard?
That'd be nice.
Absolutely. Giants pass rush is one of the best in the league. 30 sacks coming into this game. We talk about it. Ojulari, Burns, and also Dexter Lawrence up front. They've got a lot of players. So that is what you're concerned
we
about.
got a running game. So
yes.
That keeps them a little more on it. We got a running game, and we also, buried lead, have a great passing game. Remember, both quarterbacks are going to get rid of the ball fast. Baker's got more tools, and he's got more time than Tommy Cutlets does. Tommy Cutlets, if this Bucs defense can just shadow back a little bit but play strong against the run, this Buccaneers defense can own
bad
this day.
Offensive line. Very bad
Yes.
offensive line, and the Bucs could take advantage of that matchup today. Where's D. Smith at these days? I have no idea. Inquiring minds want to know. Misador says if Tampa moves on from Bowles, they need to go to an offensive-minded coach, and that's why I think it's not going to be Bill Belichick. I would think it would be Liam Cohen, although if Cohen decides to stay on that staff with Belichick, he would be the coach in waiting. How you doing? Welcome to the Evolution there. Guys waving. I think Cohen is going to be a hot commodity, and the Saints, the Jaguars, any team, with what he's been able to do with this offense, with all the injuries they've had, with Baker Mayfield turning a corner, turning into – you look at his numbers, a dark horse MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Teams are looking at that. They're looking at the hot name.
But don't forget,
Cohen
though,
will be that hot name in the offseason.
Well, he will, because that's always what's the name, his last name. It's in my head. What have you done for me lately? But the Bucs brought in Dave Canales. He was 6.5 years old. He's now head coach in Carolina.
6.5 years old.
But he's still with his wife. Congratulations, Dave.
Shut up!
The Bucs bring in Liam Cohen, and he's being very successful, right? The fact of the matter is, just like Bill Belichick used to do in New England for 20 years, he'd have Matt Patricia, defensive guy, running his offense. That didn't work. But maybe at the end of the day, it's not that these offensive coordinators aren't great, which they are, but maybe it's the system Jason Light's built here and this Todd Bowles defense that lets them plug and play offensive coordinators and have success because Jason Light's giving them dogs to work with.
And a lot of the Belichick talk is because of what Belichick said about Jason Light in this organization. They have that connection.
They're tied.
In New England. So we'll see. I'm not ready to turn that page on Todd Bowles yet. I still think this Bucs team can make a run. They should make a run, and it starts today versus that New York Football Giants team. The easiest schedule, absolutely. Christopher Cole, Jets are in discussion about releasing Rodgers this week.
Why not?
So goodbye, Aaron Rodgers. Bring your playbook. It was nice seeing you. And to me, look, they got the wish version of Tom Brady. For every, Tom Brady and Matt Stafford, and I get it, teams around the league going after veteran quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. You get a Russell Wilson like you had with the Denver Broncos, and you get an Aaron Rodgers who has absolutely destroyed that locker room, destroyed that organization. They got after Devontae Adams. You've given up capital. They've done everything this man wanted them to do, and still absolutely nothing to show for it.
Yeah, the most important position on a football team is still the quarterback. But you got a team like the Giants who took Daniel Jones in a 5-year contract extension and let Saquon walk. You got Aaron Rodgers went in. Robert Saleh lost his job. Douglas lost his job. Everything else is losing their job. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, he is that piece that's making all that go down, and he has to be gone.
And he wanted to be the coach. He wanted to be the general manager. Got the general manager fired. Got the coach fired. See you later.
Tom Brady
was nice.
That's just it. No, people wanted to come here by association because it's Tom Brady.
Sure.
But Jason Light had already put this team together.
Absolutely. And listen, they gave him some full autonomy. Leo word again.
Yeah.
Damn,
you're rolling.
I'm rolling
Get
today,
the Scrabble
baby.
game, Tristan.
Rolling, baby. Listen, they gave him
Shout
that
out
full
Chuck
autonomy of, absolutely. Rest in peace, 2-2, if you know what I'm talking about,
Yes,
the dating
sir.
game there. From the 80s. You talk about full autonomy of decisions when it comes to Tom Brady, but Jason Light also oversaw those decisions.
Yes.
The Glazers checked off on him. It wasn't just a one-man thing with Aaron Rodgers, which is the mistake that Jets organization has made. Let's go out to Greg Cole. Fire the cannons, Peter. Let's go, Bucs. Fire the cannons. We'll give you a little Tom Brady here.
Let's go!
We'll give you a little Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
And we will give you a little Tampa Bay. There we go. And let's go out. We got 3 minutes to go here.
Yes.
Bucs really need to jump on the Giants early. Often their efforts were diminished quickly.
Yes.
We're going to get out of here. We're going to get you to your football game. Bucs versus New York Giants in New Jersey. Player of the game, score prediction, go.
Kate Otten, 32-17. I like what Curtis had, 31-17. I'm liking that area. And, I like Kate Otten because they got to get the ball to Evans, but Cade's going to be your dog in the offense to keep, as long as that defense can't pressurize, because more pressure because Cade's able to run routes.
Player of the game, Mike Evans. Thanks a lot for returning to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 31-20, Tampa Bay over the New York Football Giants. We'll be back at halftime here as
Party start down here at the World
it
Famous
is
Sports
already
Bar
for the great Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. I'm your host, Peter Blake. 3 things: bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your Rolex reporter, Peter Blake. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the sports web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, it's your time. We'll see you at halftime on the evolution of sports talk television. Keep it locked here all day long as we got you covered with Tampa Bay Buccaneer coverage.